honoured guests, friends, family, but most important of all, graduates of this class this year, thank you so much for inviting me here. I'm absolutely honoured to be in Morocco for the first time. I have to say that. I've been very remiss. It is a huge pleasure to be in this country. I've visited Marrakesh, Casablanca, and now Rabat, and they are all fantastic. I am an economist, and there might be some booing in the audience when I say that, but I've studied the country before I came out, and my economic assessment of Morocco is that it is the driving force of the Northern African Peninsula, if I can put it that way. This country will be, in my assessment, the gateway to the rest of Africa over the next 2 decades. And the economic development here can only be driven, as the ambassador said, by an educated, informed, dynamic workforce, and the education journey that you've gone on is part of that rebuilding, building further the Moroccan economy. All of us at Cardiff Metropolitan University are hugely proud of what you've done, so I'm speaking today on behalf of all of my colleagues back in Cardiff to say that Moroccan students, in our experience, are well prepared, well motivated, and your success is a tremendous personal achievement and is very, very well deserved. It is a difficult journey to get a degree from a good UK university in a language that is not your first, and you have done brilliantly today to do that. Our degrees at Cardiff Met, and one of the main reasons that you're here, are quite rightly renowned throughout the world. We're very careful to ensure that our partners have a very high standard of university education. So what you are receiving here from your tutors, and the man to my left got the largest round of applause I've ever known, is absolutely on a par with what my students back in Cardiff, who are doing the same as you, have experienced. And this means that as graduates of Cardiff Met, you can be confident that your qualifications will be highly regarded in any country in the world. I have to say that I always feel a pang of envy, now that I'm grey-haired and getting slightly older, when you walk past or I present you with your degree later. I'd love to do it all again. But again, as the ambassador said, this is a lifelong journey that you are now part of, and it will be a personal adventure in learning for years to come. We're also fortunate with our partnership with SIST that we have been in partnership, I believe now, for 8 years. And that means that we've developed a very close and special relationship. We offer our students a truly international experience and opportunities as well to study at Cardiff Met. I've already met this evening some people who've come across and studied in Cardiff, and there may be others of you in the room. But mobility and moving around the world is part of the journey that you are now part of. In the UK, we have students from over 145 countries studying in the School of Management. And for the 6th year in a row, we've been ranked as the top UK university for international student support. So I think we kind of know what we're doing, and you're in safe hands is the message that I would leave you with. We also, in the UK, we like to measure things. And one of the things we measure every year is how many of our students get jobs at the end of their degree. And this year back in Cardiff, 96% of my graduates of last year were in work or further study within 6 months of graduating. That means that the qualifications you get will serve you well in the world of work, which is an important part of what you have invested in as students. SIST, as our main partner in this part of the world, have worked with us on a whole range of EU-funded projects, Erasmus Mundus, Tempus projects, furthering our relationship and building higher education capacity and leadership across this part of the world. Many of my colleagues from Cardiff Met have also travelled here to Morocco to support SIST in a range of activities during the course of your programmes. Whether you've seen them there or not, they have been there regularly, I promise you. And SIST staff have also visited Cardiff regularly to attend training and development events at the university. And this is an ongoing dialogue that maintains our relationship at such a positive level. So on behalf of my colleagues, I'd also like to thank, as the President did, all of our colleagues at SIST for your hard work in making this partnership such a success over so many years, with so many fantastic students graduating as a result. We live in a world that is changing. This is a globalized world, it's a digital world, it's a world where barriers are actually falling in terms of trade and investment, and on a social, cultural, economic, and especially technological level. And we need to keep up to date and adapt to that. Globalization is here to stay, and internationalization is higher education's response to globalization. And through placing a very high priority on internationalisation at home and beyond Cardiff, we're aiming to produce in you career-ready graduates who are ready for the world of work. One of the amazing statistics that I was presented with by our School of Education, which I always remember at occasions like this, is that it is reckoned that about 75 or 80% of the jobs that students now entering school will do don't yet exist. So the world is changing. Very unlikely that you will all work in the same with the same employer, the same job, and just for the next 40 years do the same thing. You are now ready for what we call a portfolio career with the skills that you've developed, because that is the way that the world is developing. So finally, I hope that today, being an academic, I've graduated 3 times. My parents got very bored with clapping. But today is your special day, and I hope that the memories you have of today will remain with you for the rest of your life. They certainly have with me, and they produce some of the emotions that we've already heard from the ambassador this evening. Do stay in touch with the Alumni Association. It's important that you don't lose touch with your classmates, with people that you've met, and also with the institution, because, as I said, it is about lifelong learning. So once again, on behalf of Cardiff Metropolitan University, all my colleagues in Cardiff, may I wish you every success in your future careers and best wishes for a lifetime of learning. Thank you very much.